Hi, Aquarians and Aquarian lovers. We did have the Lovers card on the bottom of the deck to start. This reading is for the second half of December 2018. These last couple of weeks in 2018. We're going to look at what's going on in your love life and what's going on in your business affairs. That might be your career or just your job. That might mean specifically how you bring in your finances, resources. It might be your education for you at this time. Whatever your business affairs are to you, Aquarians. The King of Wands and the Nine of Wands. The King of Wands is in regards to your love life. I would think that this card was representing you, Aquarians, or us. And perhaps for some that's the case. You are maybe living through a fire energy in your own chart. If you have significant fire energy in your chart, maybe that's what you're bringing to the table in your love life. You're feeling very passionate about someone or something in your love life at this time, if that's the case. But for a lot of others, I'm getting the feeling that this is actually who you're dealing with, that you're dealing with a fire sign, whether you're with them or separated from them. Fire signs being Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, of course. And in terms of your business affairs, whatever those are to you, Aquarians, it looks like you're nearing the end of something. You're nearing completion with a project that you're working on. The Nine of Wands suggests that you're waiting on something, though. You're waiting on help, some aid from someone more experienced. Maybe some of you do need to ask for help. That's normally more the Nine of Wands reversed, but I do keep in mind that the cards do always carry both energies, upright and reversed, at least for me. Remember with this card, in terms of your business life at this time, that anticipating the worst can absolutely attract it to you. There is a difference between, expecting the worst, right? There's a difference between just preparing while still hoping and focusing on the best outcomes. But if you anticipate and expect the worst, it can absolutely attract what you don't want towards you. Aquarius. Okay. So if you have fire energy in your chart, if you are showing up as the King of Wands, if you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and this is you, then you may very well be dealing with a Scorpio. Others of you, though, you are dealing with a fire sign outside of yourself, and they are covering you in this reading, Aquarians. And in that case, the Tower energy showing up here to me says that at the end of December, that fire sign may be falling away, falling out of your life, and or Scorpio. They could have Scorpio energy as well. The Tower energy is, of course, things falling apart in a way that aren't actually meant for us Aquarians. We may have built these things at one time thinking that these things were for us, that this is what we wanted, but at this point we realize that they were never for us, or at least we realize that they are not for us now, right? It's always an unexpected upheaval that's represented here, and it represents enlightenment. I mean, that unexpected upheaval gifts us enlightenment, brings us to enlightenment. And I think it's directly related then to the energy that we then can bring to our business affairs, because you have Judgment showing up at the same time. We receive this burst of enlightenment through losing something, and with the Tower, maybe through losing many things all at once. But thereafter, not only do we feel like we understand ourselves and what we need and what is meant for us better, but we feel absolved. It may not be an easy situation to make it through, and I'm sorry for those of you who are dealing with a painful quote-unquote Tower moment at this time, but this absolution comes afterward, where we are very, very much more self-aware than we once were, and are okay being seen clearly, honestly, in front of others. We feel clean. We feel that our karma has been cleared. We feel that with Judgment being passed over us, that we are fresh, that we are okay with our sins and our mistakes being exposed, right? We feel that we have forgiven ourselves, and certainly earned the forgiveness of anyone who we feel we would need it from, right? We feel worthy of it, whether we receive it or not. And then we have the Queen of Cups showing up here. In terms of your love life, back to your love life, we have the Queen of Cups and the Strength card showing up. So by the end of the month, this is a beautiful combination. This is by the end of the month, and then moving into January. By the end of this situation, the Tower moment situation, it not only are you feeling absolved, but you're feeling ready to take an honest look at how you feel toward this person, toward what happened, toward yourself. The Queen of Cups, she feels her way through situations, through life. And maybe some of you do have either significant water energy in your own chart, or a significant water energy around you or coming in by the end of the month. Certainly for that's certainly possible for Aquarian masculine energies. This could be a water sign entering, or a water sign that's near and around you. For most, though, I get the sense that this is your own empathetic nature coming through, and that means showing empathy for yourself as well as for others. You have, as I said, this new burst of enlightenment, and it gives you this insight into, again, your own feelings on this situation, and probably their feelings, this other person, whomever else is involved in the situation. It gives you this insight into their point of view as well, why things fell apart, perhaps. And then the Strength card, of course, in that space you are showing unconditional love for yourself, for your mind, for your body, for your spirit, your emotional body. And if there's any part of that we're lacking in right now, Aquarians, I do think it's the physical aspect. Yeah, definitely. Because you have the King of Fire upright, you have the Queen of Water upright. So I think you are, as things are falling apart and falling away, we are tending to our emotional needs. We are tending to our spiritual needs. But are we just as surely attending to our physical needs? Because we have the King of Pentacles upright as advice. So if you are considering between this fire sign who looks to have their back turned to the Tower situation, if you are considering both a fire sign and an earth sign, it looks like the reading is advising the earth sign. Let me clear this camera 1 second. Might be a bit better. But it looks like you're advised toward the earth sign. But I think for most, there's also this message of getting into our body and getting into nature. Again, with the Strength card, we were showing self-discipline and unconditional love, which means, again, you know, for your mind, body, and spirit, and your emotional body is included there. But if there's any part that we're lacking a little bit on, it looks like it's the physical aspect. This King of Pentacles, this King of Earth is certainly disciplined, and perhaps the most disciplined. And he advises us to get into nature and get into our body. And I was saying this to Cancer yesterday. If you can't get outside because of your environment, because it's too cold, you know, the weather right now, dance, sing, get the vibration and the motion moving through your body, because there was an indication that they needed that as well. But I do see overall that you are, especially if you're dealing with a fire sign that's covering you here, that you're thinking a lot about Aquarians, overanalyzing maybe even the situation with them. I do see that, as I said, it looks like their back is turned on the situation, whereas you are willing to take a close look, an insightful look, an intuitive look at the situation, the other person, your own feelings, right? You're ready to work through, to feel through the situation. They just have their back turned on it if you're dealing with this fire sign. And that's something else that another thing that the King of Pentacles can be advising us here is, ask yourself if you're wanting a family man or woman. If you're wanting someone that you can build a home and a family with, and was this person someone who wanted that? Is this person someone that you could even do that with? I'm getting that feeling here that a lot of you, you're looking for this type of partner, perhaps. Not that things weren't passionate with the fire sign, and you know, intense. But that King of Fire, you know, while social and charming, very energetic and bold and fearless, can also be temperamental. Right, there are, as I said, both the upright and reverse meanings are coming with every card. Now, and he has a great energy. I love both of these energies, of course, but the King of Pentacles is more of a family man, a family energy, someone who certainly serves their family, but also probably their community. They're practical, especially in financial, material affairs. And they're not afraid to get their hands dirty on whatever they're working on. So yeah, for some it's the advice to get into your body. For others, it's this advice of is this more the type of partner you're looking for if things have gone awry, fallen apart with a fire sign, perhaps. Now, going back to your business life, as I said, your business affairs, it does look like you're waiting on something to help you finish a project that is nearing completion. And something about things falling apart, something about this new enlightenment that your love life has offered you is as I said, granting you this absolution in terms of your business. It's making you more fearless in terms of sharing whatever you're working on and sharing this project with other people. It has a lot to do with, as I said, having forgiven yourself. And as you feel your way through the situation, and take, again, as I said, a very intuitive, insightful look at how you're feeling, what the other person brought to the situation, and why things fell apart. If that's what you're trying to answer, I'm sure Aquarians, a lot of us, are stuck on why. You will discover truths that are difficult to wield, that are difficult to know, that are difficult to own. It's difficult to admit to yourself what you contributed to the situation that fell apart. It's difficult to admit how this person does or does not feel, what else they may be focused on as they are facing away from the reading, away from the tower moment, away from the situation with you. There's at least one, if not many, truths that are difficult to wield here, that are in turn affecting your business affairs as well. The Page of Swords here is speaking up, though. Speaking up with those difficult truths. It is hard to know them. It is hard to wield them, but especially upright, he is, or she, right? This character is carrying that difficult message, that difficult truth, and with some enthusiasm, I hope, for most. And I think this is our energy, since it's air energy, right? But it could also be a Gemini or Libra that's directly affecting your business affairs for others. It's different for all, but for most of us, this is our own energy. And we're taking this challenge head on. Well, I think a lot of us are creating. A lot of us, the project we're working on is something that's very creative and spiritual to us. And so our emotional life and our love affairs, of course, give us inspiration to create with in our business life, our business affairs. And it could just be, I say business affairs to sort of blanket this section of the reading, this bottom row here, but for some of us, what we consider our business is the creation that we're putting into the world, that we're contributing to the world around us, that we care about most. That's our business, whether it's actually your job, your career, the way you make money or not. So that could be what it's speaking to. It could be speaking to the project you're working on that you feel most passionately about. And you not only have the Queen of Cups, but you also have the High Priestess. So again, just sort of confirming, emphasizing again that it is the intuition that we use in our love affairs that we are then able to, that we find we're able to use in our love affairs, that we then can turn around and bring to our business affairs as well. Now, she also is the keeper of secrets. She's using her intuition, but she also may be keeping some things close to her chest. So I'm getting this feeling that you, getting the impression that you, in the Queen of Cups energy, you are, again, going within and taking an insightful and intuitive look at what you brought to the table, what you brought to that tower situation, what the other person did, what happened, asking those questions of why. And a lot of what you're discovering is difficult to know. And in spite of that, you are sharing it. You are channeling that new knowledge into your works, your creative and spiritual works that are also part of your business life. You're willing to use those things, those emotions, those insights to inform your work in the world. But some of it you're keeping just for you. And I see nothing wrong with that. A lot of us, we've chosen to share what we can, to share much of what we've learned, but some of that pain, some of that chaos, some of that enlightenment it's still things that we want to keep close to the chest. And this character here is psychic, not just intuitive, not just wise, but psychic. Well, that's an energy that's in actually in more so in January for most. But I see this progression here, and they're very much linked, the love affairs and the business affairs here. But I see this progression of first the mystic energy of the Queen of Cups. So she also might have psychic abilities, turning on, turning up, and then a progression to the High Priestess state, which is just, to me, sort of the next level, another higher level, turning those psychic abilities, perhaps, if that was what we're talking about, up even more. And maybe many of you may be going through something similar to what I went through a few years ago. It was, in fact, a tower moment, if ever there was one in my life, that heightened the psychic abilities that I use in these readings, Aquarians. I lost everything all at once. I lost my home. I lost the state I was living in. I had to leave state. I lost my job, so I lost my circle of friends that lived there. I totaled my car, and I was escaping an abusive relationship situation. It had been mentally and emotionally abusive for a long time, and it finally became dangerously physically abusive. And I just lost everything, but nothing, right? I gained so much. I didn't really lose anything. At the time, it felt like I was being stripped of everything, but also simultaneously, my psychic abilities were they heightened. I had always had some clairaudience, clairvoyancy, clairsentience, claircognizance, but they all just turned up, like it just like someone took a dial, turned the dial. And that could be what a lot of you are going through, especially since I was just combing over those memories earlier. So I'm sure that for a lot of you, there's this progression happening, and by January you'll find that you've sort of leveled up in those ways, just for a lack of a better term to use there. And whether your the affairs, the business affairs we're talking about, are psychic or just spiritual or just creative in your mind, which those are intertwined for me, but however you categorize it, the advice here in regards to your business affairs is to commit to that work, those works that you are focused on. Commit to those the way you perhaps were to this fire sign or Scorpio energy, or whomever you've had, whatever sign you've had this tower moment with, whatever's caused the upheaval and enlightenment in your love affairs recently. Or it may be happening in the very near future for some of you. Some of you haven't actually experienced. Feel that you are nearing that, right? So that's this advice here, is to commit fully, bond fully with that creation, with that work. Put the same type of love into that bond and that commitment as you would a partnership. And this card does always often reminds me to share your emotions wisely. And as I said, there are some parts that a lot of you, a lot of us Aquarians are still wanting to keep close to the chest, are still wanting to keep secret, keep hidden. We're willing, again, we're willing to share a lot of these truths. We're willing to share a lot of what's heavy to know and to carry. But for a lot of us, there's still some things that we want to keep just for us. We're not done taking an insightful, intuitive look into them and what they mean, right? We want more time with them. And this is certainly the advice in the case if you're looking toward maybe starting your own business, or moving your business into a new space, right? The Ace of Pentacles is this offering an opportunity of something tangible and material. And with the Two of Cups, you know, that this energy of uniting two extremes. I really do see, since it's in terms of your business affair, that we're talking about bringing you closer to what you're working on. And it very well may become starting your own business. For a lot of you, that's exactly what we're looking at with the Ace of Pentacles underneath here. Yeah, definitely. It's an earthly opportunity. It can be an opportunity to improve your money. It can be an opportunity to improve your health. And maybe that advice to get into your body, since your love affairs and business affairs are so connected right now, will directly affect whatever your business is to you at this time. Maybe that is what some of you are waiting on. You think you're waiting on outside help. You think you're waiting on someone else. Maybe you're waiting to see if this fire sign or possibly Scorpio energy is going to re-enter, is going to come back and be able to help you. But really, you can commit to yourself. You can commit to your own work. You can help yourself by getting into your body and increasing your energy that way. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, Aquarians. It is evolution. It is growth. It is progress. It is acceptance of self. It is love of self. It is a willingness to give of self to the world around you, to allow your own emotions, your heart, your loves to become creation that inspires and nourishes other people for the sake of doing it. And it does require this really uncomfortable, seemingly unfortunate upheaval that grants you this bolt of enlightenment. And maybe, likely for a lot of you, like I said, the heightening of psychic abilities, which I believe we all have at any time the ability to tap into, but there's no denying that often traumatic experiences and great losses for so many aid that turning of the dial, that turning up of certain extra senses. Absolutely beautiful. And I know there's this gap between experiencing a tower moment, and it took me years to fully, truly appreciate all that I had been through, because it was so difficult. And I understand there's that gap between, you know, like I said, some of you haven't actually fully experienced the upheaval yet, but there is that gap between the raw, rough experience and then the gift of the enlightenment and all that you can create with it and all that you can be because of it. But it's on its way. This is what we, especially everyone, but especially Aquarians, want, is that evolution. Take me to the next stage. Make me the next me. Let me see what my new limits are. Let me learn that there are no limits for me, right? And that's what's happening here. And it's gorgeous. And I am so happy for you and proud of you, Aquarians. with that, I will leave it in your very capable hands. I hope you all make wise choices moving forward. And thank you for being here, for liking and subscribing. I truly appreciate that. Welcome, lunatics. You can use the links below to order a private reading from me. They're in the description if you are interested. And I will say that you are scheduled as soon as you make your payment, because I get that question. And you are also more than welcome to email me at lunaticstarot@gmail.com. You can email me first to ask about services, or you can email me after with detailed information that you want to provide, your astrological information, your specific questions. However it works best for you works for me. Now, some people ask me, what do I need to know? I don't need anything. You don't have to share anything. You can keep all of your secrets if you'd like to, Aquarians. You don't have to share anything with me, but of course, most clients do feel that they can get more specific answers if they give me more specific information, and admittedly, that is usually the case. So however it works for you. I love you, Aquarians, and I will post another tarot fix for us very soon.